SHIB Worldwide 50/50 raffle. Woo! That's right. We're here to party. We're here to party. So, massive love shout out to everybody around the world. We'll do their shout outs. Massive love shout out to North America, South America. Massive love shout out to Asia. Massive love shout out to Europe. Massive love shout out to UK. Massive love shout out to Africa, Australia, and Antarctica. If we missed anybody, please let us know. Ooh, what do we got here? Boom, baby. So that's Scotty Petman, and behind me, of course, a Shiba Inu, and then an Earth. NBA picks Shiba Inu. Do you know who else picked Shiba Inu? Black Rock. That's right. Black Rock in the house. Black Rock picked Shiba Inu. We're going to get right into tonight's raffle draw update for everybody in the world. We're going to get into Black Rock. We're going to get into Robin Hood and the top 40 wallet holders. Because I found out where I can find that top 40 wallet holders, which is awesome, by the way. Get into the right price is 4011837 currently. Our burns, we did happen to burn 26 million in the last 36 hours. We're still waiting for the 1 billion burn from Binance, which we haven't got yet, but it's due. I'm not sure what's going on with that. If they're starting to hoard it or what. Could be. Because that BlackRock is buying a massive chunk of SHIB. And they're slowly accumulating because they figure no one's watching them. But somebody has split their SHIB into 5 wallets, 10 trillion each. We'll get into that too. Currently, we are at 1,518,254 last time I checked. Now, I'm just doing the update right now. We'll see how far, see what it says. Hey! Mezerin? Is it Mezerin? Can I get a thumbs up if I pronounced it right? If I didn't, so sorry. I know when someone mispronounces my name, I don't like it. But just call you Raz. Hello, Raz. Razzle dazzle. Mark Anthony. Yes, hello. How are you doing, Mark Anthony? And so sorry for yesterday. For all those that were watching to see if I was coming on, I did not make it on. Raz, yes. Hello, Raz. How are you? Meharaz. Or Merazin. Filipino. We're from Canada. Right now, we're out of Canada. But SHIB is a worldwide phenomenon. SHIB is the only circulating currency around the world that's reducing its circulating supply. Hallelujah. Raise the roof. What does that mean? That means we have more wallet holders coming in. We have more reductions in SHIB circulating supply. SHIB should be going through the roof. Should it be hitting all-time highs? Of course it should be hitting all-time highs. It should be surpassing all-time highs. People just don't pay attention to value. That's the bottom line. Nobody pays attention to value anymore. Well, I don't know about pays attention to value. They don't pay attention to crypto. Anything in crypto that adds value. Because SHIB is definitely in there. It's better than anything you've ever seen in your life. And it's cheap as dirt, as they would say. It's under a cent. It's insane. Someone will say, well, the supply. Actually, the supply is a leverage. So please keep that in mind. We only have approximately, I forgot to put this in the headliner. I'll put it in later. We currently only have approximately 7% of the total supply available to everybody. That tells you something. That tells you that there's a lot of people hoarding SHIB. Now, are they the people or are they exchanges? That's the that's the question everybody's waiting to find out. Filipina daily life. So massive love shout to you. Okay, so we have 1,518,267 wallet holders on Etherscan, guys. On Etherscan. If we looked at, where's the other one? What was the other one? There was another one too. I was looking at it today. It said 2.8 million, but again, that's 2.8 million spread over 300 exchanges. And there's no way of finding out how many are on each of those exchanges. They're not transparent. Does that make sense? And they go, the reason why we can't tell you, get a load of this, the security. I'm like, what? It's a wallet address. What's security? And it doesn't give you the full address. It only gives you the last 7 digits, like XXX, and then it gives you the breakdown of the last 7 digits of that wallet address. It's not the full wallet address. So you can't even copy it and paste it. Most of what you, most people don't understand that, right? That doesn't mean anything. But it does give you the wallet address. And then if you have a wallet address, you can associate it with how many SHIB is in that wallet address. Well, because of security reasons, they can't divulge any of that information. It's like, but we have no idea who that wallet is. No, that's true. But Koi, you know what Koi's wallet address is, because it came forth and made a statement, and it's on their website also, their reduction in SHIB circulating supply. Now, SHIB's price, 1.183, 1.84. It was at 194 earlier. What was the average high? It was, oh, it just changed, guys. So right now we have 1.66 trillion SHIB trading hands. Like I said, we only have about 7% of the total supply that's up for grabs. That's it. So once that hits that marker, so that's so much, that's roughly around, what is that, 60, 70 trillion dollars, 60, 70 trillion SHIB. Mark Anthony, great time to buy. Well, Mark Anthony, we don't know what's a great time to buy. We know that it's well below market value, or no, not market value, sorry, value. We know it's way below value. So anytime that's being sold below value is always a good time to buy in, because in order for it to get to value, we're still looking at 45 to 46 times earnings. Like, that's phenomenal in itself. Like 46 times your value or 50 times your value is still 50 times your value, right? So everybody should be getting in. Yeah. But we don't know if it can go lower. We don't have a, if people want to sell it, that's their prerogative. If people are buying it, well, you're going to get, everybody understand this. Every single company, every single organization wants to make money. Agree on that? And the fact that they haven't figured this out yet is just mind-blowing. It's just mind-blowing. It just blows your mind. Every single person on the planet wants to make money, right? Everybody get that? Everybody wants to make money. Why now? Why would they want to make money? Why does anybody want to make money? Well, it hires more people. It employs more people. You're able to do more with it. You have more liquidity, which means you have control. You can control your destiny a little bit. It gives you the ability to do a lot more things, create more ideas, put it more into R&D, put more into AI, put more. It gives you more of anything, of everything. So if you have more liquidity in the market, and everybody, this is the beauty about SHIB. Everybody has the opportunity to make money. You know how they say that someone has to buy it, someone has to sell it? In SHIB's case, it's not like that at all. If you hoard it, you hoard it. You use it to get ahead, absolutely. use it to pay bills, it's on you, right? How much did you put into it? That tells you a lot about you on how much you want to get out of it. Like someone says, I want to buy $1 billion. I'm like, what are you going to do with all that money? Maybe you're not thinking about, getting $1 billion worth. Maybe you're only thinking, hey, if I make $1 million or make $1.5 million, make $2 million, I'm out. That's fair. And that just means, it means to the rest of us that you don't pay attention. That's all. Because if you paid attention, you wouldn't sell the whole thing. I absolutely agree that, yes, selling it is a good idea. Absolutely. You want to take some profit off the table? Absolutely. Pay some bills with it. You want to buy a house? All those things are legitimate. But don't sell it all. If you're going to sell it all, then you weren't paying attention to what was being said. Because you don't want to sell it all, because if it continues to go up, you won't have any leveraging power. Someone else is going to have that power that they took it away from you. That's what's going on with SHIB. That's how the power of SHIB is. And you won't have an opportunity to buy it back at the price that you sold it at. Once people start catching on, all the businesses, all the organizations, once they catch on to it, I'm shocked the banks haven't stole it from you guys. I'm going to be 100% sure, positive with you guys. Okay? The banks, in my personal opinion, they'd steal this from every single person on the planet in a heartbeat, and then sell it to you for 1,000 times more than what you purchased it, what you sold it for. 1,000 times. And then you'd be like looking at it going, well, how can they possibly do that? It's only worth blah, blah, blah. You got to remember that they know how to leverage a lot better than you and I. And that's the truth of it. And they're going to burn faster than you could say 2 steaks on a stick. And then all of a sudden there's no supply left, and they're still making 1,000 times, every year. More than what you and I could do. Why? Because they can move money around. And when they move money around really quickly, they can reduce as much SHIB as they want to at any given time. They're still making money. Because what are they doing with that money? They're holding on to it, they're hoarding it, but what can they possibly do? What they'll do is they'll loan it out to people. To me and you? No. On mortgages? Well, they'd make a lot of money on mortgages, but their money is on corporate. Not on just me and you. They're on corporate. People who build buildings for a living. People who build skyscrapers, malls. Those are where they're targeting. So when they're lending out money, it's not a couple 100,000, 300,000, 400,000. Yeah, spread out, it's more. But they want one conglomerate that builds multiple plexes all across the world, like Trump. Right? They would do with Trump. Give him the best rate. And then when Trump pays it back, they reduce circulating supply. Now they're holding that circulating supply. You don't get it. They're able to write that off as a corporate loss. A corporate loss. And they can write that off in every single country they're doing business with. Not just one country. So they're getting multiple revenue streams from each of the countries they're doing business with. That's why I said that when you look at what they're doing, compared to what we can do, you're thinking too small. You're thinking individually. You've got to be thinking how they're going to able to focus their attention and start trading overseas, doing the exact same thing. Within 2 or 3 years, there's no supply left, because if they own it all, trust me, it's gone. They're going to be down to 100 billion in no time. In no time, and then it's going to be reduction. And then 100 billion becomes 1 billion. Then 1 billion becomes 500 million. Now, is that going to happen every year? No, it's not going to happen every year. It's going to be faster. Once it starts catching on, you got conglomerates. Then starts a bidding war. But the bidding war starts right away. As soon as somebody finds out a bank's buying it, a bidding war is starting. Because they know, hey, we don't want to get left behind. And Grayscale got left behind on the last one. Grayscale got suckered and then sucker punched by BlackRock, because he got out, then he tried to get back in, and by the time they try to get back in, they're paying 50% more. See what I mean? That's manipulation. That's complete control. And that was BTC that they did it to. Why did they do it? Because they knew people in America. They knew lobbyists. They knew how to play the market. They knew exactly how to manipulate the SEC. That's all it was. That's how they made their money. Now, they're going to deny it till they're blue in the face, but me and you both know, if you go through the records, you're going to be able to see it. I mean, come on, 3 days? 3 days. BlackRock is trying to gear in. They come out with an announcement. BlackRock says, after they purchased it, we're buying it. It got held up, and then an announcement from BlackRock happens 3 days after that they're buying it. Like, it's just too suspicious. It looks like, but you can't prove it. It just looks bad. Well, it happened 3 times. The exact same protocol happened 3 times. So the one time you could say, well, they got lucky. Second time is like, there's something suspicious. Third time it happens, no, it's totally botched. And they totally did it 3 times. There's no way you can get that lucky 3 times in a day and a half to 2 days. It's almost insane, right? Now, BTC is over 108,000 USDT. Guess who's in it? BlackRock. But they were buying it when it hit 80,000. So they were selling it in the 100,000s, 104, 103. They were selling it, and then they bought it back at 80. Trying to push the market down. But it's harder for them to manipulate it because it's a higher price. Everybody have to want to jump out. They put some scarcity in there with the tariffs coming. It's a little bit back and forth. They're taking a risk. Absolutely. At that point, you're taking a massive risk. Same thing with SHIB. At this price, are people taking a risk? No. It's zero risk. Zero risk. How do you know that? Well, it's trading at 50 times a discount. Is no risk involved in SHIB. It's zero risk. But we don't know when it's going to pop. That's the thing. Okay, so we're at 40118. Is it 864? Yeah, 864. And we're going to get into the raffle draw for the last 2 days because we missed yesterday. It was Canada Day, by the way. So happy Canada Day to everybody that's out there in Canada. Yay! As the clock ticks, ticks, tick, 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 tick. It's a good thumbnail too. Yeah, it doesn't look like we sold any tickets, guys. So I'm working on the new website. Hopefully I can get it running soon. I hate that word soon. Trust me. So we went through the different scenarios 2 days ago. ROE value. And of course, now we're back up a little bit. So people are breathing a sigh of relief. And we have, we're in with Scotty Petman is the background. So if you're looking, there's Scotty. Of course, the Shiba Inu dog. And of course, it says MBNA top picks value. And that's SHIB. So if you look at the SHIB right there on the side. So what are we expecting? We're expecting massive rises. Of course, alt season is coming, right? Starts in August. Yay! So it starts in August? Yeah, it starts in August. We get a bit of it's going to look like a consolidation where it's just a little uptick. Like that. And then October, we get these spikes. So everybody can watch that. And then, of course, November, green candles, right? In December, we have these little chop, 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 but it's still going in the same direction. And then we get January 1st, January 2nd, and we get the big spikes, and then we get the big drops. So that's the 4-year and quarterly. We'll see if that holds true this year. I don't think it's going to. I'm hoping it don't. I'm hoping that people start hoarding SHIB, but I'm pretty sure we'll get about 2 to 3% or 4% of that 7% try and sell off and see if they can get the rest of the market to sell off. SHIB should never sell off unless it's over and above the 3 zeros, 595. So if it gets above 595, we could see a retracement a little bit because then it's below value. And if we burn more SHIB and we get more wall holders, which I'm predicting we will, probably about another 5 to 6 million. If we have 20 to 30 million, that's 35 million, 36 million. So we could see a massive pop. It depends on how many come into SHIB. But on average, they say between 20 and 30 million. Now, the other exchange shows that there's 2.8, 2.9 million, but that's into consideration all the exchanges. So that's the DEX, the Solana, blockchains. And if everyone's aware, yes, BOEM was delisted from one of the exchanges. And it's not because it was losing, well, it was losing market share with people. People were not happy with it because it's not the lowest denominator. It's losing ground, yes, but it's not. There's other ones that are losing it that they kept. They just didn't keep BOEM. And they didn't make any real reason why they dropped it. The only thing I could think of is they finally clued in that it doesn't have anything to do with SHIB. And they finally woke up from it and said that we put it out there because of SHIB. We didn't buy it for any other. We didn't put it on the exchange for any other reason. So we don't trust it. So we're going to abolish it. It's the only thing I could think of. And that, of course, is my opinion, right? Mark Anthony, that's my opinion. It's, yeah. So when you say it's a great time to buy, it's always a great time to buy SHIB unless it starts hitting above that value line. But even then, if we go 10 times, which is roughly where the market should be, that puts SHIB above Ethereum. And a lot of people don't like that. Because they're like, well, Ethereum is the granddaddy. But Ethereum doesn't run SHIB anymore. SHIB is run by Crypto.com, Binance, Robinhood, OKX. And OKX just sold half of their supply, guys. So just so you know, they're holding about 4.2 trillion SHIB now. They're not holding the 10 trillion. They sold it to CoinDesk. Okay, they partnered up with CoinDesk. CoinDesk basically flushed them with, what was it, 5 point something trillion they purchased it from. Of course, I can't see any of that. They said that it's like a third-party entity. So again, we have no idea. That's one of the signs we were talking about earlier that you're looking for, is when a lot of currency is being traded from one exchange to another and nothing being said about it. Well, CoinDesk came out and said that they were purchasing OKX's supply, which was 4.2, leaving OKX with 4.2 trillion, and then moving 5 point something trillion off, right? So I think it's 5.6 trillion. New sub, CPA. Massive love shout to CPA. Massive love shout to Razin. Call you Raz. Razzle Dazzle. So we have Razzle Dazzle in the house. We have Mark Anthony in the house. We have Filipina. Daily like and massive love shout to you. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Remember, likes are for free. So just hit the like button gently, many times. And make sure that you subscribe to the channel. It costs you nothing to subscribe to the channel. Yeah, thanks, Mark Anthony, Matt. And happy Canada Day for yesterday, as the family and everybody took advantage. So we have a carryover for the raffle for tomorrow. Yay! Anyone know anything about the raffle? What's so powerful about this raffle? Anybody? It's supposed to do something for every single person on the planet. What is that supposed to do? Hey, Mark Anthony, do you have any idea what it's supposed to do for you? Anybody? Everybody? Who's here heard of the 50-50 raffle? And why don't we get 8 million viewers tuning in? You worked yesterday? Oh man, I worked yesterday too. Came home and basically sat down with the wife, and friends of ours came in, and we basically just sat in the backyard, had our dinner that we didn't prepare, that we had to go out and get, and sit back and have that for dinner, and then just relax. We're supposed to go out and to the fireworks, but we didn't have a chance to go to the fireworks. Just too tired. Didn't get out there. So it was okay, right? Yesterday was fun. The only thing that wasn't fun was watching the Liberals on TV talk about how big of a game that they have when they clearly don't have a clue what they're doing. Mark Carney is trying to be like Trump and be powerful in his messaging, but we just came across yesterday absolutely like Joe Biden, weak and defeated in front of the entire world. Like, how ridiculous can you get? Like this, like, Trudeau started this mess off with the taxes, trying to tax the insanely wealthy in the States, and the Europeans were doing it, and Trump has been calling them out, and Carney could have just turned around and scrapped the whole thing when he came into office. He never did. So he had plans for this money, even though this was probably the wrong thing to do when we have massive tariffs breathing down our neck. But that's what he wanted to do with that, right? So, again, we didn't want to get into politics, because what does politics do? It sucks the living life out of you. Yes, it does. It's like a vortex, eh? As soon as you get talking about it, it just sucks you in. Well, one thing about Trump, he's got a massive liquidity pool. Like a massive liquidity pool. And none of us in the world can compete with it. Sad reality. But when you look at how much GDP they have, it's insane. 30 trillion. We have 1.29 trillion in our liquidity pool, and we're $2 trillion in debt? $2 trillion in debt. We have 43 million people here that we know of. We could have another 5 or 6 million more, because Carney is bringing them in on 747 jets.